Youngboy gets a bond. He's going to get out about 15 minutes ago at 3:50 Louisiana time. Judge Shelley Dick of the Middle District of Louisiana granted NBA Youngboy a bond for the duration of his trial. There are certain conditions. He's going to be restricted to a residence in Utah. He's going to have ankle monitoring on. He cannot leave that residence for any purpose. Nobody can stay at that residence with him except for his family. There are limits on visitors. Only 3 visitors may be allowed at a time. Obviously, there are all visitors must be approved either by the judge or pre-trial. There's obviously a series of other restrictions like no guns, no drugs, got to subject yourself to drug testing. One of the key issues that the judge looked at in granting this bond was that the first time she had looked at it, the government presented evidence that an LAPD report that this guy was running from cops doing 80, 90 miles per hour. In fact, the real testimony came out, the cop who apprehended him, he was doing 45 miles an hour. The judge looked at that. Other factors, NBA Youngboy gets a bond. He's going to be at his house in Utah in a matter of days.
A report that Youngboy's bond has him with private military security guards, that's wrong. He does not have to hire and have private military security guards watching his movements as the condition of his bond. In fact, the judge discussed that, and she basically said that I hear what you're saying, that you're going to get private security, but I don't need you to do all that because I don't think that that is necessary to ensure your return to court and the safety of the community around you. Based on everything that was said by his record label, based on everything that was said by the family in Utah that's going to look after him, and based on the fact that the government misrepresented the facts surrounding his arrest and whether or not he fled from police at 80, 90 miles per hour, the fact that they misrepresented that and were just wrong about that. Based on those reasons, she said that we can put you on home confinement, we can put you on an ankle monitor, and you don't need to have the private military security guards. So, thought we'd correct the record on that.
He's going to have to put up a bond, but other than his bond, his money is his money. Yeah, I know some of the families say he ain't coming out. When you're in court, it goes back and forth. And so I think somebody posted earlier today that, it's not looking good or he's not getting out. And that was just kind of before it was all said and done. And there were moments in the hearing today when you might look at it and go, oh man, he's not going to get out. But at the end of it, he's out. He's getting out. The bond is $1.5 million with collateral. So it's like $1.5 million worth of property that you pledge or $500,000 cash. Who won the fight? That's a good question. We don't know. You got to ask the judge. The judge saw the video. I don't know who won that fight.
My best guess is the fight was self-defense or it was a very small fight. That's why the judge said this ain't no big deal. I'm also assuming the judge understands that fights happen in prison. It doesn't make someone ineligible for a bond. We had some good questions. Let's get some more good questions. Yeah, the judge is definitely going to get on here. Although, when I did the 6-9 case, that one judge, Judge Engelmeyer, he confirmed that he was watching Instagram and he had seen the memes and he was all over. He had followed along and seen it. That he did say that. Yeah, I don't know why it's not recorded. $500,000 cash. DJ Vaughn, is $500,000 cash or $1.5 million worth of houses? You could do either. You could put up $1.5 million of your property, or you could show up with you have the deeds and an appraisal. You say, I own, Boardwalk. Boardwalk got appraised last week for $2 million. I pledge this house. If I don't show up to court, you could keep this deed. So you could do that, or you could come up with $500,000 cash, leave the $500,000 cash, and they'll let you go. Either one, deeds or cash. When will trial start? That's a good question. I haven't met Youngboy. I feel like I met everybody around Youngboy. I would never address him directly in court because he's the defendant and because it's up to him. If he wanted to say something to me, I would definitely love to talk to him, but I wouldn't go and come up to him. That's an invasion of privacy. Look, court is an open court. It's a public proceeding. People are going to report on what's going on. But when you're in court, that doesn't necessarily then give people the ability to come up to you and just start throwing questions at you. That's just not what I'm trying to do. So about the trial. So we don't know when the trial will be. What's going to happen from here, the next steps in this case, in the middle of November, probably like November 15, somewhere around there, both sides, the government and the defense, will submit briefs. A brief is a written argument. So they're going to write down all their arguments, and they're going to cover what happened at the hearing, and they're going to say so-and-so testified this and so-and-so testified that, and so for all these reasons you should grant our motion, or for all these reasons you should deny the motion. So those briefs will get submitted sometime in the middle of November, and then the judge will decide when she decides. She might decide very quickly. She might decide, boom, right then and there. She might decide in December. She might decide in January. But at that point, we're going to know a lot more. Once she decides, a couple of things can happen. One, she might rule in favor of Youngboy, throw out all the evidence against him, and Youngboy walks. Two, she might throw out some of the evidence against him while letting some of the other evidence stay in. And if that happens, that could open the door to some sort of settlement, some sort of plea bargain where the government says, all right, just plead guilty. We'll give you time served, or we'll give you, a small sentence. And they might take it at that point if it's, better. I'm sure they've made offers right now. I don't know what they are. Some offer would have been made, and they've obviously rejected it. But if the dynamics change, if some of the evidence gets thrown out, the offer might get better, and then the defense might take it. What other questions do you guys have? I don't know what time exactly he would get released or when. He has to be in Utah because the judge thinks that if he was in Baton Rouge, that he would continue to sort of get in trouble and sort of invite and be involved in criminal activity. She just thinks that he's had too many problems in Baton Rouge and that he can't be out there on bond. Am I in Morgan City right now? I don't know. Yeah, everybody go to OG33's IG. Apparently, Youngboy is live on that. Let's go check that out. Peace.